Welcome. Today we are going to talk about the first scheme, the Financial Industry Recruitment Scheme for Tomorrow, abbreviated as FIRST. So what exactly is FIRST? FIRST is a job creation scheme to promote employment in the financial industry in Hong Kong. It provides subsidies to financial institutions which are increasing its headcount during the times of epidemic. It is commissioned by the Financial Services and the Treasury Bureau, and the Hong Kong Financial Service Development Council is the scheme's administrator. It is set to be launched in October 2020, so it's pretty soon. So what are the highlights? Basically, under the scheme, employers, quote-unquote employers, basically financial institutions, can receive up to 10,000 Hong Kong dollars salary subsidies per month for 12 consecutive months for each eligible new hire. And for each financial institution, they can have 1 to 25 hires, which is subjected to a cap of 5% of the existing company headcount. So who are eligible to apply for these FIRST schemes? Basically, firms that are supervised, basically they are licensees, registrants, or members of the HKMA, IA, SFC, and MPFA, and also CPA organizations are eligible to apply for FIRST, which means they can hire new staff, new headcount, and get a subsidy from the government with no cost at all, okay? No cost. So basically, who are eligible? Organizations and companies that are authorized or monitored or supervised by the HKMA, which are licensed banks, restricted license bank, deposit-taking companies, store value facility licensees are definitely eligible. Also, companies that are licensed by the SFC, basically firms with non-temporary and non-provisional license and carry out any of the regulated activities under the SFO, are also eligible. Any insurance intermediary authorized, supervised, or regulated or monitored by the insurance authority are also eligible. Also, insurers are also eligible. And also trustees approved by the MPFA are also eligible. CPA firms and other corporate practices that are registered with the Hong Kong ICPA are also eligible. So there is a very broad scope of eligible institutions, okay? So it might be one of you. One of you might be able to apply for this subsidy. So what are the requirements and prerequisites of each new hires? So the people you hire must fulfill the following requirements, and it's very, very basic. First of all, he or she has to be a Hong Kong permanent resident, and he or she should be able to work at least 30 hours per week, and he or she should be hired for at least 12 months. As of now, there are no indication on the restrictions on roles or duties of the new hire, and there's no restrictions on competence and education level, and there are also no restrictions on the salary level as long as it is above the minimum wage set by the Hong Kong law. And the scheme is very, very flexible. It doesn't really matter you have hired the individual, whether you are currently interviewing such individuals, or you have applied for such a program, such a scheme, and you are going to hire that individual in the near future. It doesn't really matter which stage you are in. Your hire, as long as they can satisfy the requirements, they might be eligible. So how do we calculate subsidies? An eligible employer may apply for a subsidy for 1 to 25 new hires. As mentioned, there's a cap at 5% of your existing headcount. And the number of new hires will be rounded up to the nearest whole number. So let's suppose there's an employer. It has basically 30 employees as of now. 5% of 30 is 1.5. So as long as you have fewer than 30 existing employees, you are eligible for 1 hire. And for employer with 30 employees or more, they can hire 2 new hires and apply for subsidies for 2 new hires, so on and so forth. If you have 500 employees, you may apply for subsidies for 25 new hires. And the most important requirement is that the new hires must represent a net increase in the employer's headcount. That means you cannot hire new hires to replace your existing headcounts, because doing so will not increase your headcount. It merely maintains your headcount, and by doing so, you're not eligible for any subsidies. And the eligible employer should choose a reference month to show that the number of new hires marks a net increase from the number of their employees in Hong Kong as compared to before the scheme's announcement. Approved employers are required to monitor their monthly number of employees to keep a check on their number of employees, and the amount of their subsidies will be affected if a net increase cannot be achieved. That means if you are not able to achieve a net increase in your headcount, your subsidies will be affected. Payment of subsidy will be suspended or reduced if the number of headcounts fall during the subsidizing period or below that of the reference month. So be careful, you have to maintain a net increase in your headcount in order to be eligible for the subsidies. So basically that concludes what the first scheme is. You should act now and find candidates with us, because subsidies and applications will be filled up so quickly, and acting quickly is very important in order to take advantage of the subsidies. If you contact us now, we will notify you about the announcement and we will assist you in filling out the subsidies applications. To reach us and to learn more about the subsidies, or if you want to fill new vacancies or increase your headcount, you can email us at recruit@paradox-management.com or call us or visit our website. Thanks for having you. Goodbye.